Greetings, fellow humans. Some of you have asked how I do the mushrooms I do on some of my scenery, so I thought I'd do this video on my How To Tuesdays to show you how. It's actually amazingly simple. You will want a pair of clippers, a pokey thing. This is the back end of a mixing brush, but a pokey thing nonetheless. A knife, ideally vaguely sharp, and most importantly, fire. This is for lighting barbecues and cookers and the like. I like it because it gives me the long bit and that way I don't burn my finger. You can use a lighter. Watch out, lighters get hot if you keep them on for too long. In theory you could use a match, but I'm not sure how well that would work. You also need cotton buds. You'll need the plastic kind. The paper kind will just catch fire and burn rather than doing what you want them to do, which is melt. So the first thing you do is get the thing off. You may want to clean those up afterwards. I know I'll be chasing them down in a minute. Then you get your fire and you apply it to the end of your thing. They should catch fire themselves. When they do, you can already see it's starting to get the mushroom shape. Now, while it's still malleable, you can use the end of the thing to splay it out a bit more or to stop it splaying out too much. Now, the reason I'm using this rather than, for example, a knife is because it tends to stick to the knife. Right. Next thing, you'll see you've got a little drop here. If you want, you can leave it so it can form a cool bulbous thing, or you can just scrape it off. It's fairly easy. Now, at this point, there are multiple ways you can go. You can cut it off like this. And et voila, you have a tiny mushroom. If you want to put the mushroom against the wall, that's fairly simple. First, just circulate that a bit. You get the knife and decide how you want to cut the mushroom. And you just very carefully, so you don't cut your fingers. You can see I'm sliding the knife about halfway through the mushroom. That kind of went balls up. Usually it'll give you two sides. But there you go, you have a mushroom that you can stick against a wall. I'm just going to use this to show it to you. You have a mushroom that you can stick against a wall. If you just want the top of it to create that kind of toadstool kind of wall effect, you just very carefully trim this bottom bit off. And again, there you go. That mushroom will sit against a wall and give you an effect not dissimilar to that one. I was trying to figure out how I could expand this and make it longer, but you can't. It is literally that simple. It's possibly one of the easiest tricks I was ever shown. I should point out, if you do it right, this one I cocked up a little, you will get two half mushrooms rather than one shattered mushroom. I'm just going to quickly demonstrate that again and try and do it a little better. You notice I'm rolling that up. Where are we? Oh. Here's the one I used earlier. You can get a couple of mushrooms out of the same thing. And by blowing on it earlier, you can get yourself a smaller mushroom. You can see just there. Now, sometimes what I like to do is just dip it in water rather than blowing in it. Just dip it in water and it'll give you slightly different shape, but not that much as you'd notice. And again, you can cut it off. If you're going to cut a flat mushroom, what I tend to do is I tend to cut it that way. You can see that way where the edge of the blade is at the bottom, because if you get it right up close, that gives you If you can see that, gives you a little triangular tag which looks like the stem, a bit more like the stem of a mushroom. But again, what you do is you find a nice center point. You can see, I'll show you there, I've got a nice center point, and you just cut it down. Now the reason I'm putting my fingers is because it is plastic and it will fly off. But there you have 2 mushrooms. And that's obviously gives you twice as many. And then you can just create your stepped mushroom effect. Again, like that. You can see it's actually fairly simple and fairly easy. I've had to do that twice to extend the video to 5 minutes. That's how easy it is. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks very much. Bye-bye. Hi guys, hope you enjoyed that video, and if you did, remember to like and subscribe to my channel. I'm also on Facebook and Twitter. Not sure why, but I am. So if you like it, see me there, and please tell your friends. Thanks very much. Bye.